Good evening and welcome to another edition of HGP Sport. For today, I'm Jaden Samuels. Thanks for joining us. We begin the cast by telling you that the North and Central American and Caribbean Athletics Association delegates who recently visited Guyana have highlighted areas for improvement at the Lenora Track and Field Stadium ahead of the 50th Carifta Games. Stanford Howard tells us more.
In respect of the track itself, it's not normal for the long jump and triple jump pit to be where it is in the deep. It's normally alongside the 100 meter straight or on the back straight, somewhere around that area. So where you've located it, it's usually an area that is reserved as for the high jump. At the bottom side, you have the pole vault, as is normally the case. You have the javelin on either side, but you can't certainly have it while you're doing that.
That was Keith Joseph, General Secretary of the Central American and Caribbean Athletics Association, who was at the time explaining about the poor positioning of the run-up pit. He noted that as it stands currently, patrons sitting on the main stand only see the back side of the athletes. This, he noted, would mean that the javelin throwing event can only be done when there are no track events. This, he noted, would mean that the javelin throwing match can only be done when there are no track events being run off, since athletes usually run in the utilized area.
Certainly in their warm-up and trying to get their marks established for where they want to start their run, they usually run clean out of the pit, so you will be easily onto the track and interfere with any track event that is going. So that is one burden that we've recognized. Secondly, the issue of the warm-up area. We know that there is a
Commenting on the warm-up area, Joseph noted that there is a concrete-based structure that started outside the track and must be completed before the games.
Don't have enough of an area for javelin practice. So it would mean necessarily having to have the athletes come out much earlier to do their preparation for the event. So instead of the normal 1 hour, you probably have to bring them out 2 hours before, because they would not have had any area within the compound that allows them to safely engage in the practice of the javelin. In terms of pluses though, there's more than enough space under the number one stand, the one closest to the access road.
There is adequate facilities and resources at the stadium, according to the General Secretary. He also pointed out that the finish line is located too close to some of the stands. Judging from the amount of persons booked to attend the event, the official also believes there is a need for the establishment of a temporary bleacher stand. For HGP Sport, I am Stanford Howard.
Turning our attention to some cricket news, looking back at how West Indies squandered their chances in the ICC Under-19 World Cup, skipper Kimani Milius is full of deep regret. Here is that story.
Captain Kimani Milius is now lamenting several missed chances after West Indies squandered a strong position to suffer a 2-wicket defeat to New Zealand and elimination from the ICC during the Under-19 World Cup on Wednesday. With New Zealand in pursuit of 239 at Willowmore Park, West Indies did well to reduce them to 153 for 8 in the 35th over to install themselves as favourites to win the quarter-final contest. However, West Indies then played perhaps their worst cricket of the tournament, dropping 4 catches, missing a vital run-out, and giving up 45 runs off the last 3.5 overs of the innings, as New Zealand reached their target with 2 balls to spare. According to the captain, it is very difficult to digest at the moment. West Indies was guilty of 2 crucial misses at crucial points during the partnership. First, Field was dropped on 11 in the 33rd over, with New Zealand requiring 68 runs for victory, and wicketkeeper Leonardo Julian then muffled a run-out chance with Field short of his ground on a second run, off the final ball of the penultimate over. The partnership had tested West Indies' character, but they had failed to remain calm when it mattered most. But in spite of the disappointment, Milius said West Indies, who played unbeaten throughout the preliminary round, had enjoyed bright sparks throughout the campaign. For HGP Sport, I am Samuel Gillis.
Still in cricket news, the much-anticipated Demerara Cricket Board annual general meeting has been completed with former president of the Guyana Cricket Board, Drew Bahadur, elected president. The details in this report. After a long wait, the annual general meeting for the Demerara Cricket Board was held with Drew Bahadur being elected president and will be in charge for the next 2 years. The meeting was held at the Wales Community Centre ground and saw representation from the West Demerara Cricket Club, East Bank Demerara Cricket Association, but representation from the East Coast and the Georgetown Cricket Association was a no-show. Cricket in the Demerara County has been dormant for close to 10 years, but with the new executive in place, it is the hope that the sport will be reignited. Just recently, the Upper Demerara Cricket Association completed their elections and elected a new president executive committee in a bid to resuscitate cricket in Region 10. Rohan Sarju will serve as vice president, Anand Sanasi second vice president, Anil Prasad secretary, Sudesh Prasad and Anand Kaladin as treasurer. Jaden Samuels, HGP Sport. Turning our attention to some football news, the Guyana Football Federation has approved the East Coast Jubilee Republic Football Tournament scheduled for February 2 to 28 at the Ansgrove, Buxton and Golden Grove grounds. The details in this report. In football news, the tournament will feature 12 clubs from the East Demerara Football Association, including Buxton Stars, Golden Stars, Ansgrove United, Pleasance, Paradise, Victoria Kings, Buxton United, BV Triumph United, Melanie Damashana, Mahaika Determinators, Dynamic, and Victoria Scorpions. At the launch of the tournament on Thursday at Ponters Place, Ansgrove, GFF's President Wayne Ford congratulated the coordinators and indicated GFF's availability for any support needed. He also outlined some of GFF's infrastructural projects which are scheduled for implementation expansion this year, including the GFF's training center, the Durban Park facility, and the land embarked for the Berbice Football Association. According to a correspondence from the East Demerara Football Association, the tournament is geared to foster the development of football on the east coast of Demerara. Additionally, the GFF has also approved Magnum Mash Cup futsal competition in progress at the National Gymnasium, Mandela Avenue. Jaden Samuels, HGP Sport. And finally, in sport this evening, Cricket West Indies President Ricky Skerritt was appointed to the World Cricket Committee on Thursday. This committee meets twice on an annual basis to discuss the most important issues in the game and functions as an independent voice in world cricket. The WICB head will be sitting alongside England's all-time leading run scorer, Alistair Cook, as new member after former West Indies fast bowler and current commentator Ian Bishop and the Bangladesh all-rounder Shakib Al Hassan stood down from the committee. That concludes our cast for this evening. I'm Jaden Samuels, reminding you, as always, say yes to life, yes to sport, and no to drugs. Good night.